YouTube for Legend Search. We are at an 800 Elo game here. We will be joined by Penny very soon. We did arrive a bit late. We had some server issue, but we are in the end, and we are on wave 2.
Nice, nice, nice.
So Penny is just restarting his game due to the server issues that we experienced, but he should be in soon.
Yeah, I'm getting in now. I'm just on the loading screen.
Let me just raise your voice so that they hear you.
I was playing with my own volume, so I might be a bit quieter than what you're used to. I
Yeah,
reduced the gain so that I hopefully have higher quality.
this is fine. I can just fix it on my side and everything's fine. Now you should be good.
Cool, cool, cool.
Alright, so let's just see the builds here. We do have on red the honey flower in the middle of
Oh,
the lane and right on top
Honeyflower triple aqua.
with
Yeah,
triple
nice,
aqua.
nice.
So he does have at least the knowledge of the composition here, going for full AoE, so I don't dislike that.
Yeah, he knows that aqua flower is a really good combo. And Ratchet Marston has an antler with a steed to buff it, which is good.
It looks like he
Forbid
wants to go
Fall,
for gate, eh? He doesn't have
yeah,
anything else that doesn't work with gate.
doesn't have anything cheaper than a steed, so that might come back to bite him at some point in the game. For Bidfall, he is our star player, the one that we came to spectate. He has Antler, Neko, Ranger, and Fuming Stake has Buckler, Flower, Tempest.
That's quite a lot of value, and they are shifting. Why are the people shift and gold always on the same team? Would you say that to me?
Well, maybe they'll spend their gold now.
Maybe, but they are at 3 workers while the other team is at 5 and 6 workers.
Yeah, yeah.
So that might be a little bit of an issue. Well, they do push a 4th worker here.
I
And
don't understand how you can be 6 workers and still be in like 800 elo.
yeah, it's quite a hard push, but maybe sometimes the over push. You do see also he's building in the middle of the lane, not the
Yeah,
classic side lane to get a split. So maybe he just builds too much in the center, despite his build being better if there's a split. So that might
yeah, yeah.
be some of the reason. But as we discussed in another video, sometimes it's not that awful to build in the middle if you're not comfortable with a split. But sometimes your build is just better if you get a split or not.
I think building in the middle actually helps you share aggro really
Yes,
easily. Like
exactly.
it's perfect for sharing aggro on your own fighters. So if you have a lot of tanks, then just building a straight line really isn't bad. It can be pretty good, honestly. The problem is that you don't focus your own damage. So
Exactly. So there's a trade-off always, but it's good to learn if you go in the middle or build in a straight line. But if you
Mhm.
want to hold with lower value, have better control of where your damage is and where the mercenaries are sent to you, then that's where the split is getting used to.
Yeah. And left side team, they have a massive worker advantage now. It's 12 workers versus 8,
Yeah,
and
but we
they're income sending as well. So I don't know if they have their auto sends on or if this is active income sending, but I think it's a good play. When they're so
but
much further ahead in workers, I think they will just massively outscale unless the right side team do something about this.
you see where's the difference here? There's one team sending full king ups and the other sending full income send, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on one side, yes, you do get the income right when the wave start for Irgot Milk and Ratchet, but
Mm-hmm.
on the other side, they are giving the gold to the other side if they are holding. While Forbid Fool and Fuming Stake, um, they are not giving the extra gold to the enemy.
Yeah, but I really want them to push some workers. Like they both
Yeah,
already have wave 6 value. Their recommended value must be screaming at them to push workers.
indeed, they are minus 90. He has 200 gold.
Yeah,
Uh, so that's normally where you see people starting to shift a lot of gold. They are close to value. They say, I don't need to build anymore. And they are shifting gold for the rest. And that's
yeah.
exactly what's happening here.
Both of them shifting a lot of gold actually.
But Ratchet
130
as
here,
well. Wait,
180 here.
Ratchet's shifted 120 gold and he's 130 under.
Interesting. I'm
So he's
not sure
gonna
if his antler APS steed is very good here.
no, he's gonna lead that wave, and I think he wanted the gate. So that's the problem with his build. He does not have a small unit. or
Yeah.
something to like he had 120. That's another steed. Does it really help on that wave?
Is he still able to get the gate or no?
I don't
So
think
they have
so, but
190, 230.
he
He
might
doesn't
go
get 30 gold
for
from this. I think if he income zones, he can get the gate,
yeah,
which is
maybe.
obviously the perfect unit to build on 7.
Yeah, of course. But I think he will probably do the Pegasus, to be fair to you.
Maybe.
But the Aqua is not able to hold those 3 Rocos, and this is first king damage
No.
from the team who has the lowest workers here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And has only sent 1 snail all game, plus king ups, obviously.
Yeah, but
Alright,
let's
so here
see.
comes more income from Ergo and Ratchet. And he does have enough for the gate if he wants it.
Yeah, but I do think that he will look at the typing of the wave, and I think he will go for the Pegasus. That's normally what lower elo players do. They kind of look at what's the damage type, and they just build according to that wave and not looking for combos and things like that.
Yeah,
That's
you're
exactly
right.
what's happening.
You're right.
So now you
And for
have something that has no damage on that wave, but is very strong at resisting it. So this will take an
mm,
eternity, but he might still hold.
meanwhile, over on the right hand side, we have Forbid Fall and Fuming Stake. They have now pushed their 5th worker each, but again, they're just shifting so much gold every wave.
Yeah, it's always on the same team as well. Always the same size. It's not one on each team. It's always the same.
Maybe if one player sees that their mate has pushed workers, they think, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'll do the same."
Maybe that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a little leak here from Fuming Stake. He will have his 275, so he can add a Fire Lord next wave if he wants to. That might be what he's saving up for.
Yeah, but at the same time, he will probably stay close to the recommended value and not build anything super expensive. And that's what I'm struggling to understand. I think that's the thing is that they rely too much on the recommended value, and they think that every unit is 100% contributing equally to that value, and they don't
Yeah,
think about the effective value that they have.
because most of his value is dead value on wave 7. He has a Honeyflower, he has a Pilgrim, he has 4 Bucklers, he
Okay.
has a Leviathan which is well typed for wave 7, but it's an aura. So Leviathan on its own, like, how much of its value is wasted because it's not buffing any units with that aura?
Alright, I think it's a good time to talk about what is dead value, because this is something that we often say, but we never really talk about it. Like, what is it?
Sure, sure. Sounds like a good concept. So dead value is units that you have on the field that are doing very little or nothing on an upcoming wave. So something like a Honeyflower on wave 7, where it has natural armor and it is dealing magic damage AoE. So it does next to nothing on wave 7, and it costs 130 gold. But you're probably getting something like 30 gold of actual value out of it. So let's say you had 800 value, but you have a flower. Well, 100 of that is actually dead value, so it doesn't count towards your true value. And Fuming State will leak again here on 8 with much the same problems he had the previous wave. He's got way too much natural armor,
Yep.
and all of that is very weak against the magic damage on the wave.
And that's despite him having a lot of gold in his pocket and being close to value. And that's exactly
Yeah,
what you explained. A lot of dead value, natural tank, not good against magic damage, and the aura not fully exploited, meaning that part of the value of the Leviathan is not perfectly
yeah,
used.
exactly. Yeah, so there is dead value in the Leviathan as well because I don't know, let's say the Leviathan costs 280 gold, but let's say 50 gold of that is its aura. So if you're not buffing any units with its aura, then that's another 50 gold of dead value.
So yeah, there you have it. At least there's one video treating about that value. I think
I think
I
you've got.
didn't
Have
mention.
you, have you got the title for your whatever the video we're shooting?
Yeah. But income
But
sends
just
one
look at the
king.
worker situation as well. Like
Yeah.
Ergo and Ratchet, they've both been able to continue pushing workers throughout the game. They're 9 and 13 versus the 5 and 5 of Forbid and Fuming. So I barring a massive mistake on the left-hand side, I really don't see a path for 4-bit and Fuming to win this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, the biggest problem I can see happening right now is that Ratchet is only building tanks. There is no damage whatsoever in his build except the
Yeah,
APS. So he needs that gate as soon as possible. Even if the gate is built on 14, I don't care. At least it's damage that he needs.
yeah, yeah. He might actually leak here on wave 9 to Dragon Tilt Send because of what you said. He just doesn't have any damage. So it's not a massive leak, but it is a leak. Both Forbid and Fuming are holding, but oh, they do get a shutdown as well, actually.
Yeah, that's the worker difference. When you are holding to that much gold, yes, you are safer on future wave if you don't have the income necessary.
Mhm.
But it does make the enemy on fire quite early because they have more workers, more lithium, more
Yeah.
pressure.
And Ergo, he's actually added a couple of fire elementals for this wave, which, again, if we're talking about Dead Valley, then fire elementals on wave 10 are a pretty perfect example. So, despite the fact that he is overvalued, he's 15 overvalued, I can tell you right now, before the wave even starts, that Ergo will be leaking this wave, and
And
probably not a small leak.
what are the chances of Ratchet holding here?
Ratchet, probably, oh, very low actually. I didn't see his value. Yeah,
Yeah,
so Ratchet will definitely be leaking as well. Forbid is going to be fine with his Daphnes, and actually Fuming should do pretty well here as well.
with
Like
the lava
I know
atoms
he's
here.
still got that magic damage, but he's got double Leviathans, and now the natural armor of the bucklers is coming in clutch because they're pretty good against the impact from the boss. And obviously, I spoke too soon. He will leak. It's not a big one, but meanwhile, back over here, we're going to get double leaks, double shutdowns from Ergo and Ratchet.
Yeah, so that's a lot of gold going on to Fuming
That
Stakes
is
and
that is a lot
Forbidfall,
of gold. That
but
is a
they
lot of
don't
gold.
push with it. So that's my issue.
No, they're not pushing. They're just sitting on their pile of gold like a dragon in the lair. Hey, thanks for the follow, Takuan 12345. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm really I haven't seen this kind of play
Yeah,
before, where they just sit on their gold and don't do anything with it.
but you know, it's like every time I try to pick a low elo game, I'm like, okay, this is the one. This would be a good one. But it's always one side not pushing worker and the other side pushing worker. I don't know how I do it. It's always different players, but
Yeah, yeah,
I always seem to choose the exact game that's happening.
yeah. Fuming's gone for Titan on his Royal Guard, which is really strong on this wave. Um,
Still
we
decent on
have
12, to be honest.
Titans all round, actually. Titans all round. This is okay. So let's talk about this. So Ratchet Marston, he knows enough about the game that he has his units positioned in kind of aura spacing,
Yep.
but he's definitely upgraded the wrong one there. So this is the one that needs to be a white main, and this is the one that needs to stay as an antler
Yeah, there's two
because
reasons
he,
why it is the wrong one also.
yeah.
White main, yes, is pretty good on paper, right? But if you look at the value of Titan, it's way better if you put it on an antler buffed by the white main also.
Oh yeah, because the white main buffed antler has really high damage resistance, doesn't it? What is it? Let me try and
It's
I can't actually click
25%
on the
plus a flat amount.
yeah, 20% plus 5 flat damage. So getting extra HP on something with that much damage resistance gives you that much more value from the extra HP. But not just the fact that it's better to have Titan on the antler. Also, if this was the white main, it would now be buffing 3 more units. At the moment, this is only buffing 2 units, and it could be buffing 5 instead.
And it could be buffing the gate, which
Yeah,
is
which is the unit that you
summoning.
really want to be buffing.
And there's two reasons why it's good to have white main on a gate, and you might want to tell why that is.
Well, the first reason is obviously it just makes all of your gate minions tankier, which is just a very good thing to have.
Okay, so
But
that's
a
one.
second reason, which is often overlooked, is the fact that the white main aura, and Hero does the same, by the way, will allow the gate itself to stay alive because when the gate summons, it takes 20% self damage. You can see there I pinged it at 80, again at 60, and now at 40. But
Yep,
any kind of damage reduction allows it to summon at least one more time, depending how much damage reduction it is. So at the
exactly.
moment it's limited to 5, but if the white main aura is on it, he can get 6 or even 7 sometimes, I think. So yeah, any kind of damage reduction, any kind of heal, very high value on the gates there.
And now this is the mid game, and that's where you see the power of the players who have pushed worker taking
Yeah.
over those who didn't push. You see the
Well, they're
700
gaining
gold
another
here.
100 gold every wave, so the rich
Yeah,
get richer.
yeah, exactly. And you do have Forbid Full, 700 gold in the pocket, a Fuming
Yeah,
Stake,
Fuming
700.
Stake, 900 gold in the pocket. Yeah, spend your gold, guys.
It
Spend your
is it
gold.
is in the tutorial. If you haven't done the tutorial, I recommend doing the tutorial. It is stressed on every part of the tutorial that it is important to spend all your gold.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
every wave, if it is on building units or pushing workers to increase your economy.
Yeah, you have to spend all of your gold every wave. Unless you're very specifically shifting gold because you want to build something in particular for the next wave, then it's
I don't
okay.
want to look, Penny. I don't want to look.
But this is not okay. You can't just sit there with 600 gold each doing nothing.
I
And
don't
then
want to look.
I mean they're both going to leak massively here when they could
Yes.
easily have held if they built.
I don't I don't understand, Penny. Can you help
Yeah,
me understand?
I also don't understand. I mean, it might just be that they're playing the game very, very casually.
Yeah, it might be casually, but why
Yeah,
is it always on the same team, first of all?
don't know.
And why do, it's okay to play around recommended value, but why do you shift so much gold when you're not on value?
I can't answer that one. Can't answer that one. I think we might have answered the question of no.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want to be rude to people who are low elo.
no. The goal is not to be rude. It's just to understand what's the reasoning here because they played all the early game, um, just to follow the simple rule of staying on value. So that's correct.
Yeah, and
So
then
they
in the
just
late
don't
game
know.
where they have the ability to meet value because
Yeah,
they have more gold than they are below value. I would like them to see them spend that gold
yeah,
to meet the
exactly.
value and hold the wave.
Because it's one thing to play for value and then don't know how to push the workers and when to push it. That's totally fine. That's one thing.
Yeah,
But if you're playing the early game to stay close to your recommended value, and then in the mid game you don't do that, I just want to know what's the reasoning behind it to try and find what's happening and what's
yeah,
their struggle. Because you see there again minus 200, minus 400, and
yeah,
they
and
still
both
had
500 and 600 still in the bank. So it's going to be another big leak, and maybe even just game over here. I don't.
it.
Maybe they. I don't know. Maybe they run out of time. Maybe they just can't decide what to spend it on. Maybe I mean,
Yeah, that's
they
true.
might have a beer in one hand and they're kind of playing while doing something else. They just don't really care.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's just uh, if we want to help people improve, and it might be a genuine problem that people don't really know what to do, right? In that
Mhm.
situation, we need to understand and uh, try to ask ourselves what is their reasoning and what could be problematic in the game for them.
All right, all right. But I think this should be the last wave in the game now.
Yeah, it
There's
should be.
another send coming out from Ergo and Ratchet, and this is the first wave where they don't even have the ability to meet the recommended because their gold reserves are now lower than their recommended value. So for the first time, they can't even meet it if they spend all of their gold. So I'm pretty sure this is just going to be GG here.
Yeah, it kind of hurts to watch those games, honestly. Quite sorry,
But
Penny, but
I've got to say as well, Ratchet and Ergo, by the way, these guys are playing
yeah,
for sure better than 800 elo for sure. I don't know if they're brand new accounts or what, or maybe they played like one of the old Legion TD defenses, but these are not 800 elo gameplay accounts. Like they
no,
have 19 and 26 workers. They have way more income than their enemy. They haven't leaked much. They have leaked here and there, but they haven't leaked much. And I'm not saying they're grandmasters, but they're for sure better than 800.
yeah, exactly. And maybe it's just that I just found the game that it's just a disparity and players are making new accounts and they
Perhaps.
go up. I think.
So this is GG here on wave 15.
Yep.
So well played, Ergo Milk. Well played, Wretched Marston, and they take the V.
Yeah, so very nice play. Nicely played. I think the worker push was totally fine for Ergot Milk and Ratchet. Worker push was fine. Ratchet
Mhm.
was not really having the best composition, progression, let's say, but still made it work in the end. And it's just the continuous shifting of gold, not spinning and utilizing the gold, that really hurt Forbidful and Fuming Stakes. So,
Yeah.
gonna end the video on one of many similar notice that I do for this series. Is spend your gold, and if you spend your gold
And
and
you
you try
gold,
to
guys.
scale, yeah, and if you spend your gold to scale up, you will do much better and have way more fun in the game. So,
Yeah, for sure.
thank you for watching and have fun.